Okay, I have not even taken notes for this video, and I can feel it starting to rain, and it's really late, so it's gonna keep getting darker and darker. Oh my god, those clouds, look at this. Look at them clouds. I'm both worried and hoping that I get hit by lightning in this video because it'll probably kill me or leave me paralyzed for life, but I'll also get like 1 million views. Okay, so this is another Drachenfest details video. If you don't know what that is, I'll link a video here explaining what the whole point of this kind of video is. The point of this video is being in character and staying in character and what all that shite means. You've probably heard in some videos that I've done or in seen comments or heard people talk about LARPing and how you have to like stay in character or not break immersion. What you do at these events and in this whole thing, you like create a character on paper, nearly like a Dungeons and Dragons character, but instead of having like a little figurine representing your character or like a character sheet, you do have a character sheet, but it's only about this size. It's you are the character, you know, like that's how the character moves and plays, does his attacks and stuff. It's you. So you kind of make your character, and how strong your character is to a point is depending on how long that character has existed for and how many like events and stuff you've been to with that character. In saying that, a brand new character going up against an old character, there's still a chance that they could win. It's very much like a trust slash calling people out in their bullshit type system. Like I know there's a lot of like videos and stuff from like American LARPs where people have to like call out their attacks. So if you're hitting someone, you have to be like 2 damage, 3 damage, like stun attack. And in my opinion, that's crap, which is why I don't think I'd ever go to one of those. But with Drachenfest, or I think like German LARPing in general, it's just kind of what looks good. Like if you get hit in the chest with a big 2-handed fucking claymore sword and you're just wearing a shirt, like technically you should lose like I think like 2 health points. But let's be reasonable, you've just got your fucking chest caved in with a sword that's twice the length of your body. You're probably fucking dead, man. Oh, I'm not explaining this properly at all. You do have points. You have health points on a sheet of paper that you keep in your pocket, but they don't really matter as much as you'd think. So staying in character and like immersion, you're going to kind of get lost in this fucking fantasy world, right? That's the reason you go. Say you're in like a big battle and people are screaming and getting hit by arrows and like shields are getting fucking sent flying and you're all fucking fighting and it's actually pretty intense. And you're looking around and you're like, this is crazy, this is actually really intense. Then you look across and you see your friend on Snapchat just like taking selfies. That breaks immersion, and that's the kind of shit that's not allowed. I know a lot of people are like, do I have to be in character all the time? Like, pretend the real world isn't a thing? There's a lot of people out there who think you should be in character 24/7, but in saying that, more often than not, as long as you're not ruining it for anyone else, it's fine. Like, you can talk about your favorite memes and the internet and Breaking Bad and all that stuff. What I would say is, if you're around people you know really well, and it's kind of obvious that none of these are like being super in character or anything, it's fine to talk about it. But if you're in a big crowd and like a lot of other people are trying to play the game and everything, I wouldn't risk it then. So you don't have to be like your character, but you don't have to be blatantly telling people you're not in character, if that makes any sense. Like a safe bet is that if anyone you don't know starts talking to you, just assume that they're in character. Tips. Some tips for being in character. A couple more tips. Okay, come on, we can figure this out. We can figure this out. Be an original character. Apparently, a couple of years ago, I think it must have been when like Lord of the Rings or something just came out, they had like 10 people show up to the event as Legolas. I kind of want to know what would happen if any 2 of them met. Would they be like, oh, clones, who's the real one? I don't know who to shoot, kind of thing. Or would they just be like, you're Legolas too, eh? And they're like, yeah, cool. Okay, second thing. Like a lot of people will put time into their backstory, or they'll have a character that has a really interesting backstory that they've been playing for ages. I don't mean to sound mean, but no one really gives a shit. Like, your character could be this fucking badass swordsmaster who like slew a dragon and fucking did loads of cool shit. No one cares. As long as you're willing to play as part of a group and you're just generally sound, people will want to be all about you. But some people get super obsessed with how important their own character is. Just remember that like, you're the main character of your own story, you're not the main character of everyone else's, no matter how cool you think your character is. I mean that in the nicest way possible. It's a group game when it comes down to it. There's a fly. One of the most important things, if not the most important thing, is don't hijack someone else's story. I don't think people really talk about this at the events. If someone else has something cool going on and you want to get in on it, don't make it about you. Remember, you're like a backup character in their story. You're a side character, like. You can still be involved and contribute to this little story. Just remember, it's not about you. As childish as it sounds, if you don't bear that in mind, people aren't going to want to play with you. And I guess the last thing I'll say off the top of my head, if you're going to go do something, don't brag about it beforehand if you don't want people to come with you. By all means, go off, do a cool thing, come back and be like, I just had this class experience, it was deadly. Don't be like, I'm going to go do this, it's going to be awesome, you can't come. And okay, everyone's dressed up as fantasy characters, But are we that childish? Really? I think that's all I can kind of think of off the top of my head. This video, as per usual, was extremely rushed. I have no notes. It was all straight from my brain. I'll probably think back now later on and be like, oh, I should have said this. But maybe I'll put it in a different video. If you guys have anything you want me to talk about for like Drachenfest related stuff, or you can't find information on something, or it's pretty confusing, leave a comment down below and I'll try and answer it in a video. If it's only like a little thing and you don't think I'll be able to do a video on it, well, fuck you, I could do what I want. I'm only kidding, I'm only kidding. Feel free to tweet at me or send me a message on Facebook and I'll answer your question there. Here's a link to the last video I did for like Drachenfest details about how much it cost. So I think that's all for now. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Wah!